Hello everyone, welcome to the video. Today I'm going to show you how to use the LCD display with Arduino. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you how you can connect up the LCD display to the Arduino. So the first thing we'll go ahead and do is we'll go ahead and put the LCD display on the breadboard. And then we'll go ahead and put the potentiometer over here. The potentiometer will be for adjusting the brightness of the LCD display. So now the first pin on the LCD display, the VSS pin, is going to be connected to ground. And then the next pin, VDD, is going to be connected to the positive rail on the breadboard. And then the VO pin, this pin is going to be connected to the middle pin on the potentiometer. This pin is responsible to, again, read the potentiometer so we can adjust the brightness of the LCD display. The RS pin will be going to pin 12 on the Arduino. And then the RW pin will be going to G and D on the breadboard. And then the E pin on the LCD display will be going to digital pin 11 on the Arduino. And then we'll go ahead and skip all of the D pins all the way up to D4. So we're only going to use D4, D5, D6, and D7 for in this tutorial. Most of the times all you need to use is those pins. You don't need to use the other 4 pins. And so we'll go ahead and connect D4 to digital pin 5 on the Arduino. Then we'll go ahead and connect D5 on the LCD display to digital pin 4 on the Arduino. And then D6 on the LCD display is going to be connected to digital pin 3 on the Arduino. And then D7 will be connected to digital pin 2 on the Arduino. So now we'll go ahead and connect a resistor to the A pin, and then we'll connect the other side of this resistor, which is 220 ohms. You can choose any resistance in between 200 ohms to 470 ohms. Any resistance in between there will be good. And so the other side of this 220 ohm resistor will be going to positive 5 volts or the positive rail on the breadboard. And then the K pin to the ground rail on the breadboard. And so basically the LCD is connected up. Now we got to go ahead and connect up the potentiometer. So one side of the potentiometer, doesn't matter what side it is, just you're going to connect to positive 5 volts or the positive rail on the breadboard. And then the other pin on the other side of the potentiometer will be going to the ground rail on the breadboard. And so now finally we're going to go ahead and connect the positive rail of the breadboard to the 5V pin on the Arduino. And then we'll connect the ground rail of the breadboard to one of the G and D pins on the Arduino. And so basically that is the circuit, and now we'll go to the code and start showing you how you can program the LCD display. Okay, so now here is the code, and so the first thing we do here is we include the liquid crystal library. This library is already pre-installed in the Arduino IDE when you download it, so you don't need to download it. And then the next thing we do is we put all the pins that we are using, that we have connected to the LCD display, into variables. And so that's all we do here. And then we go ahead and give all those pins to the liquid crystal library so we can work with the LCD display. And you have to give the pins in the order that they're in right now. So for example, the RS pin, the pin that's connected to RS pin, needs to be given to the library first, then the EM pin, and then the D4 pin, the D5 pin, the D6 pin, and then the D7 pin. You need to give them in order what those pins are connected to so that the liquid crystal library knows which pin is which. Okay, and so the next line of code is we do the void setup. And all we do in here is we just do lcd.begin, and then how big our LCD display is, which mine is 16 columns and 2 rows. And then we go into the void loop, and then we go ahead and do lcd.clear. This is going to clear everything of the LCD display. This helps so that the information that we had on the LCD display in the past will be completely cleaned off, ready for a new print on the LCD display. So that's what we do. We do lcd.print hello all. Okay, so it's just going to print that text out. And then we're going to come down here and do lcd.print millis divided by 1000. So basically the millis function gives us how much time has passed since the Arduino has started in milliseconds. So that means that it's going to be counting in milliseconds how long the Arduino has started. 1000 milliseconds is a second. That's why we divide 1000 from millis, so that we're counting in seconds, not milliseconds, on the LCD display. And so basically what this is going to do is it's going to say hello all, and it's going to constantly keep on counting up how many seconds the Arduino has started up. And so that's all it's going to do. And then we're going to go ahead and delay 1 second. And then we're going to come back up here and just run the code again. And so basically that's how you can print something very simply on the LCD display. Above me, that is the result I got. And now I'm going to show you something else that you need to know. And that is set cursor. So set cursor is for like where if you want to put the text in a different spot on the LCD display. As you saw that our text just started at the top left corner and starts making its way to the other side of the LCD display. But how do we choose to want it to be on the bottom or in the middle of the LCD display? That's what we do here. And so right now the set cursor is 0, 0. So basically 0 columns, 0 rows. So if we want this text to be on the bottom, we would say 1. Okay, so this is the second row, 1, because the first row is row 0, the second row is row 1. So we do row 1, and then we want to start 2 columns to the right. And so this means that the text is going to start on the bottom and it's going to skip 2 of those boxes. Sometimes when you turn up your LCD display really bright, you can see 2 of those boxes. And those boxes are each segment of where a character can be. And we are going to skip 2 of those. And then we're going to start on our third one, keep on going to the right side, okay? And so that's basically how you can choose where you want the text to be on the LCD display. And this above me is what I got with this set cursor. And as you can see, the text is on the bottom in the middle of the screen. And so that is how you can move around text on the LCD display. And so now you probably know, like, okay, so we can only put text and numbers on the LCD display. No, you can put your custom characters that you want to make on there as well. And I'll show you how to do that in our next code. Okay, so now here is our next code, and as you can see, we do everything pretty much the same here as we just set up the library basically. And then we come up here and we do byte, halt. And so basically, we're just making a byte, kind of making I guess you could say an array. And so these are all of the bytes of one of those boxes. Sometimes when you see those boxes on the LCD display, this represents one of them. And each one of these zeros represents one of those squares inside of this box, okay? And so all you have to do is you just have to set the pixels to 1 to turn them on and 0 to turn them off. And so all you have to do is kind of make a shape of a heart inside of this square of zeros. So then down here we make a smiley, and the same thing with arms down. This is just a person has his arms down. Then we have arms up, head, and then you can see the arms are up, and then we have the feet. And so basically that's how you can make your own characters. So then we go into the void setup, and we set up our LCD display, and then we go ahead and create our characters. So we do lcd.create, and then we do 0. Okay, so basically when we ever want to call or use halt, we would just call the number 0 whenever we are writing to the LCD display. And so we just say 0 halt. And then we have 1 smiley. So 1 represents smiley. And then we have create character arms down. It would be 3. So it's 3. And then 4 arms up. And so as you see, we just put all of these arrays and we just created them all. Okay. And now we'll go ahead and write this information to the LCD display. So we have lcd.setCursor. So we're going to set the cursor to 0, 0. So it's going to be on the far top left corner of the LCD display. And the first thing we'll print is I space and then lcd.write. So when we actually giving it a character, we write to the LCD display. And so we do lcd.write byte 0. So because this is a 0, we have to do this way. We have to do byte, and then we have to put the 0 inside of the byte. But that's what you have to do to call the halt. Okay, so it represents 0 right here, so we just call the 0 whenever we say lcd.write. And so the next thing we do is we print Arduino. We do space Arduino, and then we do another space right here, and then we go ahead and do lcd.write again, and we do byte 1. And so this means that we are going to be using the smiley because it represents 1. Okay, so now we go to the void loop, and we do lcd.setCursor to 4 columns, so it's going to be 4 columns over, and row 1, so that means we're going to be on the bottom row of the LCD display. Then we say LCD.write 3, which character is 3, arms down. So we'll have the character with its arms down first. Okay, so that is 3. Okay, then we delay 500 milliseconds or half a second, and then we do LCD.set cursor full columns and row 1. And the reason why we're doing this again is because it's kind of like we don't want to use the clear function to clear the LCD display, because this information, we want to keep this information on up here that we printed, but we want to get rid of the old character that we made that we printed up here. Okay, we want to get rid of that, but how do we get rid of that if we don't use the clear function? Well, if we know where we put that character, then we can just set a new character at the exact same spot where it is and erase the character. And so that is what we do here, and then we go ahead and print our new character, which is full, which is arms up, and then we delay 500 milliseconds or half a second, and then we just keep on looping this over and over again. So in a way, we're gonna have I heart Arduino and a smiley face, and then we're gonna have someone on the bottom waving their hands up and down. And so basically that is what this code is doing, and up here is what the result I got from this code and what this code does with the LCD display. And so basically that is how you use the LCD display with Arduino. If you like this video, consider giving this video a like. Also comment down below if you have any questions, consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all and have a great day. Bye.